Hi, everybody. It's Mary Ellen coming to you from Moonrise Cottage. Just here for a little Q&A. We're going to try to be really informal today and give everybody a chance. Spirit guides are talking already. To sort of hear from my spirit guides. As you know, I've been involved in a process, like all of you, my spirit guides are saying, for many years, obviously. All the years of our lives, Spirit's saying. Of becoming, and that's why we're here. There's a lot of energy here today. My spirit guides are kind of saying, well, it's about time, and it's, in a sense, it's about me coming out of my own closet that I've been in, because I've been in my own cocoon, so to speak, for many, many, many years, that in a sense culminated with, Spirit saying the energies that at long last drew me here to this spot so that I could connect with my spirit guides and with the earth spirits that are active, the energies that are active in this spot, in order to bring forward Moonrise Cottage, my own destiny. And so there's here's the message coming through. It's about my destiny. Obviously, it's also about the shared destiny that we have, which is why my spirit guides have been talking so much about the tapestry and Spirit saying working hard to capture and utilize the predominant language of the moment so that people can understand what the messages really are. So today I'm going to do my best to be disciplined, because I am a chatty Cathy. They're laughing at me in the background. To keep to an hour, I realized that we have a lot to cover. I'm going to keep some of it really brief, and then I'm going to give you a chance to just ask me questions, and I'll do my best to answer them, okay? So people have been asking about the cards, and I've been asking my spirit guides for the last 24 hours or so. All right, so what do you want to say about that? Why? I've never asked myself, to tell you the honest truth, why these cards and what this is all about, and I just go forward on my intuitively connected understanding to the guidance that comes in. So let me just check for a minute, see who's here. Joanne's here. Hi, Joanne. Karen, hi. Hey, Elizabeth, chiming in from England. Great that you're here. Suzanne Funk, hi. Hey, Tani. So glad to see that you're here. And Madavi, hi, sweetheart. Lady Star Soul, I like that. All right, so let's do this. Let's start with the cards. As most of you know, I use the beautiful Celtic Wisdom Tarot deck. It is out of print. It's very hard to get. And you know what? Hang on, I'm going to switch over to my viewfinder so I can see if things are in the camera. So that's the beautiful Celtic Tarot. It is very different from a standard deck. And when it was time for me to come to YouTube and try to translate the messages that have been coming to me in a felt sense, I don't know, Spirit saying from the time of my birth, I would say from the earliest time that I have memory, which is pretty young in my childhood, I began to understand that there was something going on inside of me. I didn't have any concepts to wrap around it. When you're young, it takes time to develop concepts and understanding. I had my own challenges within my family lineage, like all of us do, Spirit says, and those things were given to me, some would say chosen by me, to help me develop, providing me with the challenges that I needed in order to develop the internal wisdom that I came through with. So I've pondered my own reincarnation story, and I know some of it. I've had some past life regressions. I've seen some of it. And some of it has been revealed to me in this lifetime. As you know, if you've been following along this channel, I've, Spirit saying, I divulged a couple of the things that have come to me in the dream time, and there have been many. So let's start with the cards, and then I'll circle back to that, okay? Because people have been asking about the cards for a long time. So the Celtic Wisdom Tarot is loosely, I would say, aligned Spirit's saying it's only for purposes of understanding with the origins of the standard Rider-Waite type of deck. But it diverges in ways that are important because it is a deck that is meant to be utilized as an oracle in a sense, along with some of the concepts that people are used to using. It is, Spirit's telling me, it's a divine work of art, and it truly is. It was developed by a woman whose name is Kathleen Matthews. You can look her up online. She has a website. She's got a lot of different decks. She's an amazing human being. And Spirit's saying she also was sent through, came through with a specific mission in mind, and she developed her own oracle, Spirit says. All right, so I'm gonna read to you, okay, from the book a little bit, just to give you a baseline of understanding. So let me pop through and see who else might be here before I start jabbering on. Lady Starsoul, you wanted to know what's coming for you this month. Check your, Spirit says, check your moon sign and your rising sign, because you already know about your sun sign, apparently. Shabana, hi. So glad you're here. All right, so you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to read to you folks from the book a little bit, and hopefully it'll give you a baseline of understanding of what the deck is about. It's also, the reason that it's an oracle is that it's really based on non-written language and Spirit saying, and that's why it was chosen for me, because of the way my intuitive understanding of the messages that come to me work. And my family is from County Cork in Ireland, and well, half of my lineage, and my maternal grandmother was born in Glasgow. So there's a lot in that region for me to plumb from, if you will, in terms of mythology. Okay, so let me just read this for you a little bit. So if you want to buy this deck, you can find it online. It's exorbitantly expensive now, hundreds and hundreds. I know somebody who paid $800 for the set. So I feel lucky to have it. All right, so the book opens with some explanation of the background of the deck, and Spirit keeps calling it the Oracle. All right, so it was the Greeks who called the Celts the Celtoi, which may derive from a particular tribe or from a Greek word meaning concealment, that which is hidden. The Celts have been a hidden people to us for most of history. Their myths have had less exposure than the classical ones, yet their ancestors and traditions of the modern Celts stem from the heartland of Europe and are primarily linked between our agriculture and nomadic ancestors of prehistory. So what Spirit's saying is this deck, because of the way it came through to Kathleen Matthews, Spirit calls her the Oracle as well, is she was able to understand, because of her own placement, the link between the ancient times and the modern times. And that understanding came through into this deck. So the stories and myths of the Celts are among the oldest remnants of our past, diffusing the mists of time and reconnecting us with our own soul's journey. And again, if you've been following along and you know, that is the reason that I'm here. I am here, the oracle that, that Spirit says is within me, that which I came through with, has been connecting in that way and gathering information and gathering human experience in order to be here with you for the years that I'm going to be here, Spirit says. The purpose, and I just want you to know, so my spirit guides are coming through. They're speaking while I'm trying to read from the book, so it's going to be a little bit of each, I think, all right? So these stories about time and culture and myth diffuse the mists of time and reconnect us with our own soul's story. Celtic peoples did not use writing, and their myths have been transmitted by oral tradition and through early clerical transcriptions. The ban on writing was upheld by the Druidic class, whose rigorous education involved years of memorization of genealogical, poetic, judicial, and other lore, and among whom the uttered word was supreme law. Supreme law, bond, and truth. Okay, so, sorry, I was getting interrupted. So, there is something about me, and I'm guessing it's a reincarnation type of story. Somehow I came from this tradition. I hold it within me, Spirit says, and there are things that I just know, but just because I know them, even though I have no way of knowing them. And that's one of the reasons I always say, I don't really know, but I know. So, this, again, Spirit saying this was chosen, and I actually found this deck many years before I started interacting with it. And it was, okay, Spirit's talking to me about my own history. So there came a time in my life when I had to do what I was meant to do, Spirit says, and I didn't know how to do it, like a lot of you talk about. So I came to the spot that I'm on now, and I started building this structure. And I knew when I was building it that it was some sort of a sacred spot, that there was a portal here, and my job was to come here and activate the portal. And it was around that time that I found the deck. And if you don't know the story, I was on vacation somewhere, and I went into a gift shop, and it was the only tarot deck in the shop. And I was looking at it. I was immediately mesmerized. I had never done anything with tarot. I hadn't been involved in, Spirit saying, in external forms of oracle reading. It had been an internal process for me my whole life. And I think I was 40. I had, my 40th birthday came. I had an initiation ceremony. An enormous amount of downloads started coming through in the form of dreams. I went to someone for dream interpretation, and Spirit says, and that was the beginning of this phase of my existence, and everything prior to that was really just training and life experience and bumping along and making mistakes and figuring it out, again, like we all do. So the Celtic Wisdom Tarot upholds that ancient oral tradition, and herein is mediated through the visual and tactile format of cards. In this way, each tarot reader who reads the cards for others keeps the immediacy of oral wisdom tradition alive. And that's why I think Spirit's saying twofold. I'm going to break it down for you in terms of how would it relate to a Rider-Waite deck. But primarily it's meant to be an oracle. And so my spirit guides chose this deck for me. Like I said, I was on vacation. I picked up this deck. I was drawn to it. My grandmother, who's, I think, one of my spirit guides, actually, she's on the other side now for many years. I talk to her a lot. She comes through to my sisters and I. And she popped through and said, pick it up. There was somebody standing next to me. She kept saying, pick it up, take it home, take it to the register, like really insistent, right? Like if your Spirit saying, like if your mom was there and saying, do that, you got to do this right now. It was one of those moments, and so I thought, okay, Grandma's telling me, what do I know? So I took them home, and I put them on the bookshelf here at Moonrise Cottage, and they just were steeped in the energy here for many years, and I just picked them up and really started using them 2 years ago, somewhere a little over 2 years ago, but it was 2 years ago, November 29th, when I left my professional career behind, and I knew I could never go back. And so I started asking my spirit guides, well, now what do you want me to do? Because I argue with them. Like a spirit saying, like any good Irish woman would, right? I put my foot down and I argue, and, we have conversations, but I don't, Spirit says, and it's really true, I don't submit to anybody. And I think that's why I came through with Virgo and Aries, because that combination helps me to be grounded, but at the same time desire to forge ahead and do things that might seem a little on the surface crazy. So Spirit says all of those things are why this situation is the way it is, meaning me here on YouTube at Moonrise Cottage with this deck of cards. All right, so let's go back to the book. The tarot is popularly thought of as fortune-telling devices, yet its 78-card format has a more fundamental use than this. The Celtic Wisdom Tarot offers the reader a portable oracle that can help clarify and give guidance in complex life situations. It does not offer fateful outcomes, but it helps the user awaken to the many possibilities surrounding a given situation. And so it acts as a true oracle in a more empowered way than a standard Rider-Waite deck. The methods of divination were widely used by the Celtic peoples, and they were the auguries, meaning prophetically, animals and their movements, the shapes of clouds. There were forms of lot casting, scrying the elements, and wisdom trees. So within the deck there is an ancient alphabet, much like the runes, called the Ogham alphabet, and that has its own runic tradition. Let's see. The trees, the prophecies of all the poets, were used to help guide decisions and ascertain the will of the gods. Anything and everything existing might become the basis for divination, according to the Celtic peoples, and Spirit saying the Druids. The Celtic people and the Druid people believed that everything had a soul. And if you've been following along, Spirit says, you know that Spirit's talking about the methodology and the messaging follows that pathway. And, well, okay, so, and Spirit says, and that's why people connect so deeply to the readings that come from this particular oracle. The immortality of the soul was a central tenet of the Druidic belief, and the track of the soul through many lifetimes had its own distinct shape and pattern, and that's why Spirit has been talking about your purpose, meaning your energy pattern. It's not just about this lifetime, just like my life isn't. The types of things that Spirit guides have been saying about how I got to be who I am and how I came through and what I carried with me. So Spirit's saying we all have this concept of cellular memory. If you don't know that concept, just Google it. But it's about the things that we carry with us for better or worse throughout our lifetimes. And that is on some level the type of healing that we need to take up, right? As most of us understand. But it is our soul journey that really guides us to the time and place that we're in each incarnation. So that has its own cellular memory, and that cellular memory actually is in the etheric bodies. And the etheric bodies are the, Spirit's calling them the transmission portals through which we communicate with the sacred realm, with the universe, with heaven, whatever word you want to put on it. My spirit guides don't care. It's about source energy and the way in which you connect and all the levels of energy through which you connect and receive. And that's why my spirit guides are talking about this notion of our energetic being, our presence, our soul. Spirit says, forget about this. Forget about it. No. Somebody asked about next year. So next year, that's what my spirit guides are going to talk about. All right. And I know, again, I'm not an expert in anything. They're laughing at me. Maybe one or two things, but I'm just an expert in following my own path and living that type of a life, even when it doesn't make sense. So, in terms of being a scholar, I'm not. I have a master's degree. I'm an egghead. I'm a Virgo. I like that stuff. I love learning, but I have enough freedom of soul, Spirit says, to follow along the energy path. And it is what those of you that are here that connect with the information and the wisdom that comes through this channel, that's why you're here, according to my spirit guides. So the Celtic Wisdom Tarot follows the track of the soul's path through the 22 wisdom cards, or the major arcana of the deck. These major arcana wisdom cards pattern into the sacred triple spiral, which we see. Let me show you. See that on the outside of the deck? And it's in many, many of the cards, as you see. if you watch the readings. So the triple spiral is one of the primal symbols. Mercury's still in retrograde, so forgive me. Primal symbols of the Celtic peoples. The wisdom cards do not depict individual stories, myths, or gods, but rather the deep archetypes, the aspects, and the thresholds. Spirit's putting an underline and explanation, the threshold of the Celtic otherworld. Okay, so again, meaning the universe and the way you connect with your spirit guides, however you do that. It is at these initiatory thresholds that all life is subject to intense transformation. The story cards reveal the more mundane features of life, depicting the rich variety of human experience through the tales and legends of the Celtic storytellers. These stories are codified into 4 families or suits. The suit of battle, which would be swords. And you know what? I have them here somewhere. I'll just show you a little bit. Okay, so the suit of battle. Okay. That would be the ace. In this deck, it's called an augury. It is a prophecy. Okay. And Spirit says, and if you understand tarot, you understand that about all decks in some way. The suit of skill. There's the augury of skill. Isn't that beautiful? This would be wands in a traditional deck, the suit of skill. Then we have the suit of art, which would be cups, okay? And it's all about what my spirit guides call love energy, which is more vast than any of us at this moment in time can comprehend. So again, Spirit saying, again, that's why this was chosen. So there we go, the augury of art. Beautiful. Which is about the beginning of happiness. And Spirit saying that's what we interpret as the purpose of love. In our human lives, we attach it to relationships and we attach it to other people. And there have been great oracles through time in history that have asked us and invited us to see a much broader vision than that. All right. And then there's the suit of knowledge, which would be pentacles. All right. So there's the augury. And don't you love that the augury is about wisdom, coming into wisdom, and the start of a new cycle? There's the new moon. I love this card. In ancient feminine wisdom, touching the oracle and transmitting the wisdom through your own physical being and being transformed because of that. I love it. So let's see. So the suits of battle, skill, art, and knowledge were the 4 chief activities of the Celtic and Druidic peoples. In these cards, gods, people, trees, ancestors, and animals reveal the rich nature of life. When the wisdom and story cards are shuffled together, the mingling of our deep spiritual change and daily circumstances come about. This mingling of the cards reveals the circuit of the soul. Isn't that beautiful? I can't think of anything more beautiful than that. The circuit of the soul. And you know what? Thank you, Spirit. My spirit guides have been talking about the circuit lately. So they started talking about the tapestry. And first some language came out about our purpose, that you are your purpose and your purpose is your energy, and becoming well acquainted, Spirit saying, with your energy pattern and activating your own energy pattern before you find your mission or that which you feel called to do. And Spirit says, sometimes you know from a young age, but you are meant to develop your purpose because of the circuit that your soul is on. And it is that circuit that connects to the tapestry. And that's why Spirit started talking about, our purpose, and then the tapestry, and then the circuit. And, Spirit's talking about the notion that was used of a fractal and helping us understand the repeating pattern of our soul's circuit, some of the things that we carry forward in order to develop, and how that connects with the whole and reflects the whole. So let's see. Let me see where I left off here. So the mingling of the cards reveals the circuit of the soul, which in the Celtic tradition was seen to come forth from the cauldron of rebirth, complete with its own innate qualities and gifts. When we read the evidence of our soul's track, we attune to a deeper wisdom that has been hidden from us. And I understand it because I lived it. And I think we're all living it in a certain way. The traditions of the Celtic people, the hidden ones, are potent keys of wisdom that can unlock the door of revelation for those who wish to read the mysteries and the mysterious unwritten script of your inner life. And so that's the purpose of this channel. I'm just here to be an oracle in a sense. Someone who speaks for a group, I think, of spirit guides. We'll get to that in a few minutes. So it is why the deck was placed before me, Spirit says, because it was the right thing in order to create what my spirit guides were trying to create through me, and obviously it's part of my own soul's track or mission or reincarnation story. So in creating the deck, Kathleen Matthews drew extensively upon practical experience from working within the Celtic traditions for 30 years or more. The process taught her more than she expected. When the concepts and the stories became visual and tactile in this way through the cards, something potent beyond expression became communicated. And isn't it true? It's an amazing deck. And she says in closing, I am very grateful to the gods, the spirits, the tree allies who have supplied the inspiration, for without them, this deck would not have been possible. May you find your own soul path similarly accompanied with helpers, friends, and inspirers in whom you can trust. Isn't that gorgeous? So that's a little bit about the deck. I'm going to switch back from my streaming software over to YouTube so I can see what's going on with the chat. Okay. Pamela's here. Hi, Pamela. Hi, Andre. Okay, so that's a little bit about Celtic Wisdom Tarot. And there's a lot more than that. It is also connected to the seasons of the year. And each card within each suit is connected to a particular tree or plant. So there are a lot of different types of wisdom that are wound up into each and every single card and each and every suit, if you will. So my spirit guides are saying, take this deck as what it is meant to be, and don't seek to align it with a traditional Rider-Waite deck. Certainly there are things that are patterned, but primarily something will be lost in the translation if you do that, okay? So, and I've always wondered, should I go forward and try to relate some of the cards, and I've done it a little bit in the background, but I started to find that, I don't want to do that. I want to leave this as it is because it has its own purpose, and it's not up to me to start messing with it. So as my journey goes forward, and our journey here on Earth, our collective journey goes forward, then as things are evolving, I eventually started to get the request from my spirit guides to get some new decks and branch forward from this tree, Spirit saying, of the Celtic wisdom. So there are some new branches coming. Some of you know I have been using this beautiful Celtic Shaman Oracle. It's incredible. And very similar in a certain way. The difference is that this is meant to be a straightforward oracle. So today when we're done, I'll pull a card, okay? Or Spirit saying, or three. So that's the Celtic Wisdom Tarot. Does anybody have any questions before I move on and we talk to my spirit guides? Load them up into the chat column, if you will. And if not, we'll just go forward from there. And I'm just going to, Spirit saying, I'm going to live stream this, meaning I've not prepared anything for this. I've been thinking about it for a while. So there are a number of people that I've connected with through the channel who've been asking me this question, and one of them is Mark in New York. So Mark, if you're here, this one's for you, Spirit says. Okay, my spirit guides are talking about my friend Mark. Also has had an amazing circuit of existence this time through this lifetime, and has been in his own way very supportive of the efforts that I make here on the channel. So I'm going to throw it open to you guys. If you have any questions for my spirit guides, this is your moment. We have a little over a half an hour, or a little less than a half an hour at this point, so go for it. Let me know what you want to know. And if there are no questions coming forward, I will just let them have the stage, okay? Okay. So let's see where to start. I have never asked my guides, they're telling me to shuffle the Oracle deck. I've never really, although they're laughing, they're saying I challenge them a lot. I am very independent minded, and Spirit saying, because of the past life circuit that I've had and because of how I am. Hi, Catherine. Are there any messages for you? No, I'm not doing personal messages today, because then I would have to do one for everyone. And if you want, go to my website. The link is below all my videos, and I'll put it below this when we finish. Okay, a couple things coming through. So I showed up this time very much in myself and self-aware, aware of the deeper aspects of myself, and extremely intuitive and very, very, very clairvoyant, although I didn't realize for a long time that that's what I was experiencing. I didn't realize until I was a teenager, and then I began to notice that things were happening. So Spirit's talking about the way in which I am wired, if you will, to be able to take energy in and stream it out. So some of that has translated into being what I call a catalyst. So the spirit energy, the things that come through me, that energy, I'm able to stream that to other people. And it started happening, like I said, when I was a teenager, and I just began to notice things that would happen when I was around other people. I suddenly would become psychically connected to them. I would know things about them. People started coming to me for advice, and I don't, at the time I just really didn't know, because I had Spirit says I had a large awareness that I was a kid. And what do I know? And I still say it, right? Okay, what do I know? I'm just me. I'm just a human being. So I would say things and sit with people, and then something would come to me. I used to think, well, out of nowhere, where's that coming from? And I would just speak it. And what I was doing was channeling. I had literally no idea. Didn't even have the concept in me until I was probably well into my 30s. So for 15 years or so, I was just continuing to grow and live my life. And I was building a relationship with my spirit guides. And I think, hi Munir, welcome. From Norway. I was just having a fantasy about going to Norway. I'll tell you guys later. I'm thinking about maybe spending some time on a cruise ship. And one of the things I've always wanted to do is to go to Norway. It's been in me as a desire for a long time. So anyways, I started channeling. I didn't know that I was channeling, meaning being receptive to source energy and the information that comes through from that, and just telling people. So that kind of continued, and then it evolved into people just started to show up in my life who needed a certain kind of healing, really intense soul journey healing. And I believe that what happens is my spirit guides connect, because I'm on the circuit with a certain tribe, if you will, of souls. I am one of the people, one of the souls on the circuit who can act as an oracle because I'm able to transmit energy. So I began to understand that, okay, I'm a catalyst because people come to me, they show up. People started, when I built this house, people started showing up at the door that I didn't know, or they would be sent here by somebody. And then the soul journey would happen to linked together. And I started having dreams, and I would do astral travel with these people. I would watch them and watch the arc of their soul. So I had the ability to understand the arc of someone's circuit. That's what Spirit's saying. So whatever that's all about that I don't profess to know about, it's an experience that I have. So I'm here in this lifetime being utilized in order to help people on a certain circuit of souls. Spirit's saying, gather together, attune their energy, understand their purpose, and go forward, because it's very important, because somebody here asked about next year, because the things that are unfolding now in these moments have been coming forward for eons. And it is about what people call the awakening and the event and the coming of our ability to walk through our lives in a multi-dimensional physical, a new type of reality. All right. So my spirit guides, I use the word guides because I understand there are different streams of energy, and some of it is well aligned with my personality, and some of the information that comes through is very playful, very, very playful, very kind, very loving. And sometimes I've been talking with a really good friend of mine about Medea. If you guys don't know who Medea is, some of it is that it's like just no sugarcoating, just like this is the way it is, and stop messing around, and you know what you need to do and that kind of stuff. So that's very fun and very playful, very snarky at times. And then, so I've never asked my spirit guides, who are you and why are you here? They're saying I spend most of my time arguing with them in the course of my lifetime, which they like about me. I'm not afraid, and I have a trust, because what comes through feels source connected to me in a very deep way, and I see the evidence of that when I do connect with other people for an individual reading. Something very powerful happens, and I do my best to get out of the way and just deliver the messages that come through. And the spirit guides use me and my energy, because I am a conduit, in order to pull the cards. That's why the cards come out the way they do for the general readings, and particularly for a personal reading if you've ever had one with me. So Madavi, you're saying pull the cards. Yeah, Munir. Oh my God, I can't wait. I saw a thing. This is a commercial, you guys. Sorry. I saw something about you can go camping. There's places where you can camp out, and I don't know if it's Norway or Finland or someplace in that part of the world where you can go sleep in an igloo, and at night, you get up and roam around under the northern lights. And oh my God, I can't wait to do it. So, all right. So I'm just going to sit for a moment. I'm going to shuffle the deck, and I'm going to ask the spirit guides to speak about themselves. Like, who are you? Where are you from? What are you doing here? Why? Not so much why me, but... Okay, so part of what's coming through... Yes, Tani, I will. Thank you for reminding me. Yeah, okay. Tani's asking about how I do the reading. Okay, so my spirit guides are saying they are what we would consider a collection of energy, plural, energies from the circuit. And so part of what is coming through is the wisdom that you carry. Oh, that's why the conduit stuff. Okay. See, so I'm learning stuff about myself today. So it's a collection of energies that are connected to source, each one attenuated in a particular way. And coming through to me because I've been on the circuit for a long, long time, apparently. And I do carry threads from many different circuits. And so I'm able to connect because of the way that I am able to conduct. Okay, Spirit's saying electromagnetic energy. I've come through enough incarnations that I have a lot of the threads. And because of my set point, my purpose, I have the ability to connect into source energy. And so what I'm getting is my guides are not, I know that people say I'm channeling from the Pleiadians and the, all that. That's not what I'm doing. It's not that kind of stuff. I think I'm literally connected into the collective in a certain way. And my spirit guides pull from the circuit of the tapestry when people have questions or when you have a challenge in your life, something you're trying to understand or develop or connect into. The oracle that comes through me is, it's, okay, hang on a second, I'll show you something. Spirit says, it's like this. And let me see if hang on, I gotta switch over. Okay, you see that? Outlet, plug. That's, Spirit says, that's what it is. So I have the ability to plug in, to bind myself with your energy, your purpose, your vibration, and plug into the circuit that is source energy. And from there, whatever needs to come can be drawn, like when you turn on a light switch, all right? So there is a feeling that many of us would call the one, the universe, God, the goddess, that kind of universal power and energy. And okay, and so what I'm getting is, and that embodies intention. And so most of what I channel, most of what I consider my spirit guides is that, according to what's coming through to me now, I have a way to connect in because of the way I've been on the circuit. And so that's why I was chosen, just simply because I can. And it's not, please everybody know, it's not any, the Spirit's saying it's not, there's not a hierarchy. And I've always said I don't want to be attached to that kind of a notion. I'm not a prophet. I'm not anybody's guru, nor do I ever want to be ever. Because it is, in my opinion, a dangerous thing to take on for a human being to interrupt the course of a soul on a circuit. So if you have a guru and you follow along someone that way who inspires you, Spirit says that's fine, but be really careful with that because you are meant to develop your own pathway. And when you begin to give over your decision-making power to somebody else, then you run the risk of interrupting your own pathway and your own movement on the circuit that your soul's been on all this time. So it is that circuit of souls that has its own vibration, and it's all about energy. We all talk about it all the time. We know that, right? So I connect into the source of the circuit. And on the circuit, there are various disembodied spirit energies, and it could be any one of us when we cross over, that are able to send information, and Spirit keeps talking about electromagnetic force through, because I'm receptive, and I have the ability to interpret the messages. So, hang on one second. I'm just looking at the chat. How do I open up? All right, hang on. I'm going to scroll back up the chat a little bit. Tani, you want to do that? Maybe Tani and I will go to Norway together. Okay, so Munir is asking me, how do I open up? You've been having a spiritual awakening. You're seeing colors and visions this year. Oh, that's awesome. And trying to let the energy flow through you. Yeah, so, basically that's it. And so for me, and it's why I always sort of say, look, for most of us, I think it's just a long process. And if it takes an entire lifetime, that's fine. So for me, I came in with the electromagnetic abilities that I have. It causes me to be a conduit. It causes me to be a catalyst. So I can literally send energy to people, and that's why part of what I offer is energy healing. I can connect with the arc of someone's soul and walk with them literally in their soul journey as a sacred witness in order to accompany them and sometimes to provide some energy from the source for that person so their soul can discover its own path. All right. So, yeah. All right. So the information that's coming through right now, for example, is from the circuit. And my spirit guides are talking about the pathway of discovery of the circuit and how you connect to the circuit. Munir, to answer your question, when you notice these capacities in yourself beginning to come to the surface or awaken or be present, there's nothing you have to do about it. Follow it. Talk to it. The Spirit says, talk to it like I do. I just talk. I walk around the house, I'm talking to my spirit guides. And in every little moment, that is available to you. So allow it to become a regular part of your day and don't feel like you're crazy or that there's something wrong with you. If you want to connect into the circuit, Spirit's saying everyone is invited now, and it's part of what's going to be happening next year. Okay? So I feel as though I am connected to the circuit in every moment. I am never disconnected at this point in my life. I don't always focus on it. It's not always right on the surface. I have a life to lead. My car breaks down. Things happen. My daughter got in a car accident the other day, and it was a classic Mercury retrograde thing that happened, and everybody's okay. But oh my God, so they're just, I have to go and buy groceries. I have to live my life. But Spirit is saying, Munir, if you want to open and connect, ask. And so they're talking now about the power of manifestation and understanding that when you ask for something, the answer has already been given. And the answer is always yes. And then it is your job to continue the flow of energy, to connect to the request, and to feel excited about the fact that it's going to arrive and understand that, okay, Spirit's saying time and distance. It will happen when it's meant to happen. Your job is to continue on your own pathway and to develop your energy and to keep allowing the energy to flow into you and let it become part of your daily movement through space and time, they're saying, all right? Because you're an energetic being moving through space and time. We have developed these physical form to come here and have this journey, all right? So hang on, I'm going to scroll back up the chat again for a second. So you know what, Munir? A Spirit's saying just start keeping a journal. And you don't have to write pages and pages. Just jot things down. If you have dreams, jot them down. Say thank you when you see things like that. And ask for more information or energy, whatever, help you understand. That's all you need to do. Because when the opening happens for each and every one of us, it's just there. And you fight it, or you invite yourself in and you invite the spirit guides in that come to you from whatever circuit you're connected to, in a sense. All right, so you get tingling all over your body and vibrating and ringing in your ears. Munir, yeah, Yeah. Okay. So you're undergoing an awakening process. So something is happening, and what I've learned, I guess, because of all the readings I've done, is we all come to a moment. If it's meant for us in this particular lifetime on the circuit of our soul, we come to a moment when either we begin to feel things physically or have visions or see things and you don't understand it, or you come to the notion that you can no longer live the ordinary life, and then you have to figure out what to do about that. And it's often a crisis for people. And so my spirit guides are just saying that's when you know you have come to the moment when it's time for you to begin to consciously connect. So I think we're always unconsciously connected, but there comes a moment when it becomes conscious. And then in those moments, as you move into that process, my spirit guides are saying that eventually you begin to meet people or animals or trees or other beings will come across your path that are going to help you and send you some energy. And you can share energy. Allow yourself to do that with people. That's why Spirit's talking about the tapestry and chiding everybody, just Spirit always says, stay with us, right? Stay with the discussion about the broader aspects of being a spirit being walking in a human shell. Okay, Alina, I can't answer that question in this kind of a discussion. Tani, I love your emojis. Yep, so Munir, see, Spirit's saying you knew, right? Just like Tani knew. Some of the people that are here, I know them very well. You just know, and you just have to believe yourself, okay? And then just talk. Spirit's always saying, well, just talk to us. Just talk to us, and we'll answer you. And then you will develop your own conduit. It is something, if you think about neurons and pathways, we have to develop them. We are born with a certain pattern of neurological pathways, and then as we grow and develop, we develop more of them. And so Spirit saying, I have an extremely highly developed pathway for electromagnetic information to come into me, and anyone has the capacity to develop that. You just have to believe it. And my spirit guides always talk about manifesting and the way that happens on the electromagnetic highway, so to speak. So, step one is understand that you're having an experience. Say thank you, ask for more, say thank you for that, and then just allow it. And continue to focus on the positive that these things are developing, and trust that they are developing in the right way, at the right speed for you, whoever you are. Because just because I have the capacity I have doesn't mean that another person should also need to strive in that direction. It might not be the right thing for them. Because, and Spirit's talking now about the tapestry, that's why the tapestry is important, because we are each meant to develop our own particular purpose. So focus on that and delve deep into your astrology, delve deep into the numerology of your chart. And, Spirit's saying those aspects that surround you, I think meaning basic numerology about your name, your date of birth, and all that kind of stuff, okay? And understand that your own development, your purpose is critically important because it is individualized for you, and that's part of the message, okay? Let's see. Hi, Happily Ever After. No, we're not doing any readings today. I just published all the December readings a couple days ago. All right, so I'm scrolling back. Tani was asking me a question about the cards. How do I lay out the cards? All right, so here, I'll tell you the story. When my YouTube experience began, I just got the card. Spirit told me get the cards out because I was having an argument with them, saying, "Well, what the hell do you want me to do now?" So I just got the cards out, and I literally sat here at Moonrise Cottage and said, okay, you tell me how to do it, because I've never picked up a tarot deck. I don't know what to do. I'm not a tarot card reader. And there was a little bit of an argument, and they were like, oh, well, of course you are. Don't be ridiculous. You should know that by now, that kind of stuff. So I just thought, well, all right, what is it you want me to say? And that became the first card that comes over the top of a spread. Okay, Spirit's telling me to hold this one up. So The first card that comes out in my spread is always the theme that Spirit wants to speak about through me to you, whoever you might be. It's always really interesting, the difference between a general reading and a personal reading. Spirit's saying, if you really want to experience the depth of being connected into the circuit through your own energy, come and have a private reading. So the first card, always about your soul, the circuit of your soul. All right? That's the first card in the major arcana of this deck. That's, again, why Spirit chose it. Second card, the decider, right? So those two sit together. The first card is what Spirit wants to speak with you about, or the message. The second card is us and our human reality. How do we stand in our lives with our purpose, our energy, given the theme of the reading? And then the three cards that come underneath that are about our human journey, given the first two cards that came out, where the energies are at, the difference between the human and the spirit realm. Okay? So helping us to understand the theme and how we should progress through the month or the days that follow, and what we're likely to experience and the things we need to work on. Then there's a bridge card. How do we transition? How do we connect our human existence to the spirit realm, to the circuit, to the tapestry? So that's how the initial first two horizontal rows come out. And what's interesting to me is the way Spirit had me do these readings. The middle row, the middle horizontal row, is the bridge card, your energy, the spirit theme, and the outcome. And it's perfect. I mean, basically, I just did what Spirit told me to do. So then the row of three cards on the top of the reading are about what is it that your soul circuit is about. What part of your soul circuit are you addressing? How is that reflected in the human realm? What's your journey this month? And if you understand your own energy and your purpose and your journey, then you understand what your soul is doing. And trust yourself. My spirit guides are talking about, it's a way for them to give messages to you to help you trust yourself and love yourself. Love the energy that comes through, that formulated into a human person as you stand in your life. And, a desire to help you understand your soul journey and the circuit that your soul is on and how it is linked to the human journey. So that's why there are three rows of cards, and then there's always an outcome card. What's the outcome of this journey and how do I go forward? So once again, I'm realizing here we are at almost 2 o'clock. Any other questions about that stuff? Okay. Madhavi, here comes the card pull. All right. So part of what's happening for me is my ability and the circuit of my soul is moving through to its destiny that has to do with being a channel, being a portal, who was meant to come here into this place and build a portal so that other souls could come here and stand in the sacred energy that actually exists. Tani, some souls have been here. I just started. Spirit says I just got brave enough to start. So that's going to continue. That's part of what's going on next year, I think, is there's going to be a lot of activity here in Moonrise Cottage. You will feel a lot of activity within you. We're going to talk about what this notion of 4D and 5D and ascension energy and twin flame and what are all these experiences that we're having where suddenly you come across someone, and Spirit's been talking about it this year for a while. We're gonna go down that road, and we're gonna start, I believe, talking about in more depth the electromagnetic highway and what Spirit was just talking about in terms of how the cards come out, how the readings came out. So, okay, I gotta focus for a minute. Yeah, all right. There's the first card. Nice. Second card. All right, Spirit, one more card. From the Mystical Shaman Oracle. Spirit, what's the message? Okay, I'm just downloading. Now we're gonna get the card. Spirit says. Okay. Yeah, there it is. Okay. So I love that message. I'll read to you from the book, and then we're gonna be off for the day. What did I do with the book? Hang on a second. I put it away, I think. Yep. Okay. So, obviously we're talking about the spiral of existence, and we've been talking about the circuit. So this is a confirmation message, pardon me, from my spirit guides about being connected into the source of the circuit of all souls and the spiral of existence. And the Spirit's talking about, go and look at how the universe, I actually got a download last night about, that's the reason the universe is expanding, is that there is this spiral going on. And why, other than the reasons we all know in terms of being connected with the earth, why the population is exploding here and the universe continues to expand. There is a spiral of existence that we are all connected to. While we are connected to our own circuit, the source, Spirit says, that energy is building. And as the tapestry goes forward, and Spirit's talking now about the fractal of the tapestry and the way the circuit works through each individual soul. So, a confirmation of that discussion and what we are going forward into next year, okay? And so for us next year, given all the things I've already said, we are actually literally, as a collective, because we have connected to the tapestry and we have developed our own energy enough so that we have found our circuit and we are learning how to plug in, Spirit says. And that is bringing us to a vision quest. That's beautiful, isn't it? Look at that. The place where your soul goes out and has a quest, and Munir and Madhavi and Tani, Spirit says, everyone who's here understands this. You think about it, Spirit says, and you desire it. And on some level, it's time to drop the disbelief and just say yes, and then open yourself. So Munir, Spirit guides are talking to you about, how do you open? Just do it. And I don't mean to be snarky. There is a moment when we all have to say yes, I believe, and in the Celtic Wisdom Tarot deck, it is the card, hang on, Spirit's talking to me, that has to do with the initiate, the dedicator of lore, okay, where you show up and you're blindfolded, you don't really know, you don't really see, you might have some disbelief, but you step forward and you say yes, in a way. So one of the things I did many years ago is that I had a very private ceremony of my own, and I gathered up some herbs and spices and things, and I took a ritual bath, and it over the course of a couple of hours, and I allowed myself to go into the water of source energy, back into the womb. So you might, Spirit's using the word divination, you might divine for yourself a ceremony and just say yes, and then buckle up, because things start to happen and your life will change in the direction that you are seeking, if you're seeking that kind of wisdom or connection, and it's going to start to come to you, and then there's a lot of learning that happens, okay? So there's the last card, Andean Cross. That's about shamanistic journeys. And so next year, we're going deeper into the spiral for this vision quest, into our soul journey, our connection, our ability to connect to source energy, and to find out what it is we're meant to be doing, to have a vision, to understand what it is we are experiencing at this point in the spiral of the soul circuit that you're on in your own life. And the outcome is that. So, I don't know, you guys. Let me, hang on, I got to switch back to YouTube. Do you want me to read to you from the book about each one of these cards, or do you want me to just read the outcome? Spirit says the outcome is enough, but I'll do it if you want. Joanne, you've been doing Reiki. Thank you. I just realized that I've been doing, Reiki in a certain way my whole life because I've tried really hard not to connect whatever I'm doing to what's going on out there. That's how I've always felt about it. So I'm beginning to have a lot of realizations over this past year. So Jennifer, hi. You've been watching the channel, experiencing the development of your conscious connection. Yeah, that's why I'm here. I think that's the only reason I'm here, is to give people a place that feels real to connect into the circuit and experience that flow of energy. And when I first started, I got messages from all over the world, hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of messages about people saying, I felt something, and it scared the what out of me. And I began to understand something about my own purpose, my own energy pattern, and the reality of being a conduit and being connected to source energy. And we all have the capacity. So Spirit says, just ask for it and understand. And then things start to happen, like you discover a YouTube channel. And that helps you connect in one way or another, or a person or a dog or a bird. Hi, Sophia. Yes, you may ask a question. Go for it. Manu, you've done the spiritual bath. So see, Spirit says, see, you're already doing it. You are following your intuitive nature. Continue. Spirit says continue. And what you are seeking will develop. And it's you, right? All right, let's see. Hi, Joanne. Okay, so Joanne says yes, read all three. Munir, you've been using bay leaf and apple vinegar and sea salt. Ooh. Hi, Siobhan. Hi. Okay, guys. I'm going to read the cards, and then I'm going to shut the hell up and go on with my day. All right, so the spiral is card number 50. And hang on, I got to get my glasses back on. I finally admitted to myself that I need reading glasses. I got tired of squinting. All right, hang on. All right, the spiral is from galaxies in the sky to diminutive shells at the beach. The spiral is found extensively in the natural world. Its shape is in the form of a coiled serpent. It has been used since ancient times as a tool for growth and transformation, and that's what we've been talking about today, right? The spiral is a guide for entering deep into one's consciousness and the unknown, and then extending far out into the heavens. It is crucial to surrender to this journey until the exhausted paradigm, meaning that which we are moving out of, and people here on earth, my spirit guides say, call that 3D, okay? So when that exhausted paradigm dissolves into the depths of the psyche and its energy is released in order to give birth to a new reality. So whoever it was that asked about next year, I keep getting this confirmation over and over, and given the way that things have been coming through, the cards for me just always confirm, and I don't know how the spirit guides pick the cards and make them come out, but they are spot on most of the time as far as I can tell. And then it's up to me to try to relay the messages. So sometimes I have a lot of performance anxiety, okay? So there we go, the beautiful spiral. The invitation here is to renew yourself. Shed your old skin. You have already done this, so do not keep scraping away at the old, but welcome the soft new skin that is starting to grow. Break the habit of working on your faults all the time and let nature take its course. So that's what Spirit was talking about. Just allow it. Ask. Invite yourself in. Invite the spirit guides in whatever way they're meant to come. Whatever the way is that you're meant to plug into the circuit, okay? And trust that it's just already happening, or you wouldn't even have the thoughts. You wouldn't even have the desires, all right? Or the things that are occurring to you, the visions, all that kind of stuff. And be prepared for you might have, if you don't have psychic capacities, you may have them developing, and they will develop. If it is meant for you to have them, they will develop at their own rate. So don't set yourself unrealistic goals. Allow yourself to be a baby. Right? We don't have a new baby who comes and then in a year we expect that person to do calculus. That's not how it works, all right? So don't put too much pressure on yourself, but allow it and follow the path of the circuit energy that comes through to you, okay? Let's see. Know that the new skin feels vulnerable and scary at times, and I can attest to that. Trust the medicine of the spiral as it guides your journey of renewal. Isn't that beautiful? Whew. Okay, so while we are coming into a deeper place along the spiral, the Spirit's been calling it the fractal, the circuit, all those things. We are going deeper into the next phase of the spiral. And what my spirit guides are saying is, okay, they're talking about a shell, the way a shell forms. And again, I don't know any of this. I'm just saying what they say, all right? So it happens along a pattern, right? And so the shell grows from the inside out. So we are adding another layer to the spiral of our existence because of the way we're connected into the circuit and how the circuit is unfolding, the universe is expanding, all that kind of stuff, okay? And we're finding each other, etc. All right, so Vision Quest, hang on, it's number 60. Should be about page 120. Yep, there it is. Okay, Vision Quest. In the Vision Quest, you face your fear, you embrace your mortality, and then you meet face to face with Spirit. When we feel stagnant, a Vision Quest brings our lives into perspective. We realize our flaws, our potential, and the opportunities life is now offering us. We remain on a Vision Quest until we find the key to open a new door or write a new chapter in our lives. That's what Spirit was just talking about with the spiral, all right? There is a new chapter, I have no doubt. I'm really excited. So find clarity by spending time alone in nature if possible. If you live in a city, go for a walk in the park. If you live in the country, make sure that you spend time outside in contemplation. Get off the couch. Get away from the desk. Turn off the darn computer. Spirit's literally saying, and the damn cell phone. Just like that. Like, they hate the cell phones because we are glued to them. I was in a restaurant the other day, and you all see this everywhere you go. There's a parent and a child, and they're having a dinner. And the entire time that they're in this restaurant, it's a beautiful place, looking over the river here where I live. Beautiful. Literally the entire time, the child was isolated, sitting alone while the parent's face was glued to the cell phone. And it took all my might to keep my trap shut and not get up and go and say, gee, maybe you could look at your child. And, how intrusive would that be? But I felt so bad for the child. And that child is learning that as a pattern. And maybe that's why now, Spirit is opening, the connection is happening now because, my God, there's a literal addiction now to screen time. So, I turn my phone off. I'm not available, and I do not use it to look at anything other than to make a phone call and sometimes a text message, because it takes you away from who you are. Right, so that's my dissertation on cell phones. Try to cut that out of your life a little bit and limit your screen time. And Spirit saying, and add to that what just came through the card, right? Every day, for some time, step outside. Don't take your phone with you. Don't take your laptop or your just you and your spirit guides, and talk to each other. All right, so. And that's the way, the Spirit's saying, that's the way most modern people are going to have to do a Vision Quest. It can be in little bits every day. But you have to separate yourself from the electronics in order to plug into the circuit. That's interesting, huh? Okay. Spirit guides help those who help themselves. So set your intention and ask nature for a guiding vision for your life. And believe me, it'll come. I asked, the last time I asked for something like that, a dog showed up. And it came to my house and sat on the porch, and I'd never seen it before. And so, I went out and sat with this dog, and something happened. There was a little connection. I opened the door, dog came in. Just know that it'll come in lots of forms. It might be a butterfly, it might be a dog, might be a bird, might be another person. You might have an awakening moment with another person. Ground yourself. Okay, and be prepared. All right, so the last card, Andean Cross. I love this card. Hang on, it's right in the beginning. It's a numeral 2, so it's right in the beginning of the book. All right, the Andean Cross represents the cosmology of the shaman. And so this thing that we talk about, shamanism, etc., we are, each of us, coming because we are getting ready to plug into the circuit. We are plugging into this part of our nature. And I've been plugged in for a long time. I've been afraid to say the words like that about myself because it seemed way too presumptuous, but I'm understanding. My spirit guides are pushing me more and more to don't get caught up in the words. Understand there's a meaning behind them that has to do with the circuit and plugging in and what that's for. All right. So, oops, I'm holding it up backwards. Andean Cross represents the cosmology of the shaman. It depicts the 4 cardinal directions, the upper and the lower worlds, and the steps to reach each of these realms. The hole in the center is the gateway to the interdimensional travel, the proverbial eye of the needle that we can all go through to experience higher states of being. Our awareness and wisdom rests in this place, and we are able to break free of linear time. That's what Spirit was talking about. We are moving as a collective because of the spiral of the circuit and the tapestry and all those things, your purpose, into the ability to experience interdimensional time. And if you want to know about that, ask Tani, because she came here, and somebody named Wally came, and somebody else who's not ready to be revealed yet. And that's what they experienced. So, I had to be pushed along by my spirit guides to be ready for that part of my existence and my opening and my plug into the circuit. And I didn't know what was going to happen. I mean, I had a little bit of a clue, but I don't assume that other people are going to have the journey that I have. So it was a great teaching to me, and I think as the winter goes forward, I'm going to be growing and deepening and understanding what's about to come through next year, particularly when spring and summer comes. All right. The Andean Cross announces the start to a great journey. It's time to raise your gaze from the mundane day-to-day to that which, until now, has seemed beyond your grasp. Allow new vision to guide you, and stop trying to make sense of it all before you respond with a resounding yes. So there. Everything I said, everything the spirit guide said that I translated to you guys. So we're going forward. It's really exciting. I'm looking forward to Mercury retrograde being over. It's been difficult, I think, because we've been in retrograde so long. But astounding things are happening. That's the last message Spirit's saying about this retrograde. Amazing things are happening. There is a lot of healing that I'm experiencing through these retrogrades. And because of the brave people who've been willing to come here as the portal opens. And I step deeper in because I watch other people step into the portal. So I'm having a lot of epiphanies. A massive amount of healing has come to me. And I know that I am being renewed in order to go forward and perform the work that I am meant to be doing as the spring comes on. And I guess the first step, and I love how Spirit always arranges this, the first step is to go deep. Right? Well, I'm in North America, so that's what the winter season, it traditionally is known as, going deep into a meditative state. In order to be slumbering, Spirit's talking about bears like a bear. In order to step into the unconscious, the subconscious, and do it as meant to be done in that place, so that when spring comes, the awakening can happen and the blossoming can come forward. So let me just check with the chat, you guys. Where did I put my glasses so I can see it? Yeah, Munir. Gosh, we should stay in touch. Maybe Tani and I will come see you. All right, I'm just reading your messages, gang. Tani says, take your shoes off and run around in the dirt. Absolutely. Feed your microbiome. I agree. So, Suzanne, the other morning you saw a hawk. Sat at the edge of your yard and flew right under your window when I asked for confirmation. See? Just know that you're plugging in. And Spirit says if it helps you to use that visual of something that plugs into a wall, go for it, because that's what you're literally doing. And there's more words coming through. One of the things that Spirit said at one point was something about solid state. And a solid state, I don't know anything about electronics, solid state connection. And somehow it turns on and off, so go and Google that stuff. Tanya, you had a falcon show up. Wow, and a rainbow. After watching the Aries December reading just the other day. Yeah, so that's the other thing. With all humility, when you watch the readings, it is a moment when you can connect in as you're watching those readings. And it's not about connecting to me per se. I love all of you. I always experience an enormous amount of love energy that flows through me, or what we would identify as love energy. You are connecting into the circuit. And you can ask your spirit guides, all right, well, I'm going to watch this spread now that the spirit guides put down. Help me connect into the circuit while I'm viewing it. So whatever information is meant to come from me personally, I will be able to feel it and absorb it and empower myself on that path. Yeah, Joanne, I agree. This year's been phenomenal, hasn't it? Okay, well, Munir, go to my website. Click the contact button and send me an email, because wouldn't it be fun? I'm just having the urge to travel. I've been sequestered for a long, long time, and my spirit guides have been telling me, okay, you know what, that phase is coming to an end, because you're free to go now. And actually, I'm going to Florida. It's the first time I've taken that kind of vacation in a long, long time. Suzanne, you had a dream about being plugged in and everything lit up. Yep, that's it. That's the message, gang. So the other thing, just you guys, anybody who's here, just letting you know, I'm going to probably do another little just 5-minute video. I'm working on some holiday gift giving. I want to give back to everybody who's been here, particularly people who have been supporting me through the live stream community. So it's time to resubscribe. And Tani, thank you. If you're part of the live stream community, please renew your subscription. It helps support my channel. The price is going to go up January 1st. So between now and January 1st, you can purchase a subscription. My website manager's I'm gonna have to tell her that this came through from Spirit. Please go and renew your subscription. It's a way for me to continue doing the work I'm doing. And next year, what's going to happen is the live stream community is going to be able to have content that other people don't have access to, because we are going to be plugging in. We're going to be going a little deeper. And there are going to be, I think, more guided group travel and specific lessons that are coming from Spirit, etc. I haven't fully developed the concept yet, but that's the message I'm getting. And the other thing is, I'm going to be given a discount, I think, on readings, because people sometimes ask me about purchasing a reading for another person. So I'll figure that out in the next couple days, and when Mercury goes direct on the 5th, I'll make that announcement about discounting the readings for Christmas time, for yourself or for anybody else. And just so you know, as you purchase your new subscription for live stream, it's a year-long subscription. Anything that you pay for the live stream subscription or donation to the channel, you will receive that as a discount. So my web manager is working on putting together a coupon that you will get. I don't know the details of that. I know that it's possible, it's happening, and it's in development. So just know that that's going forward. And my advice is, because I'm always I'm in favor of what I call the shopping coup, where you get something, you pay a deep discount, or you get something for the fact that you purchased something. So my advice is purchase a live stream subscription, and then you get I think it's going to be just under $50 for a year. And then you get $50 off a reading or a healing or any of the services that I offer, plus a full year's worth of live stream Okay, Spirit's saying live stream. So there's going to be some streaming coming through me. Okay? So, hey, everybody, thanks for being here. This has been fun. Thanks for listening, and thanks for being with me while I'm on my journey. I know that I love being with all of you. And thanks for a beautiful year together. I appreciate it so much. It's been phenomenal. So, have a wonderful holiday season, and I'll look forward to speaking with you all soon. Probably not till January. But I don't know, sometimes my spirit guides wake me up and say, do a live stream, and then they give me a topic. So I might pop up. I'm going to have a busy month like all of you. So thanks, everyone. Mwah! Love coming to you from the spirit guides, and I'll see you the next time, whenever that happens to be. All right, thanks again. Bye.